Since my appointment as minister over the last 3 years, it's more or less for me to understand the various aspects of the running of the ministry and the various agencies that comprise of the Ministry of National Security. I have been in constant contact with the former Minister of National Security, who have been briefing me consistently on matters that were engaging his attention. Of course, this would take some time, and over the last 2 or 3 weeks, we continue to engage each other on matters that he was dealing with, and to ensure that we have a seamless transition taking place. So the transition is taking place because of the extent and the magnitude of the ministry, and it has been going smoothly so far. The government has taken a decision recently to extend the call-out service for members of the Reserve Defense Force, and they will provide strategic support to the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force and all other arms of national security, so that other security personnel, they can now devote their attention to supporting law enforcement efforts in the fight against crime. So their engagement has been extended from the end of March to the end of June for further 3 months. We are hoping, and I am working with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and all other arms of national security with the support of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, to ensure that we have continuous, robust law enforcement operations throughout Trinidad and Tobago, targeting gang activities and all other serious crimes in this country. And that is the focus. Because within the state of emergency, some of the operations became easier because you did not have to meet certain evidential threshold that normally would apply outside the operation of a state of emergency. And that's the reason why you had a number of police operations. Outside of the state of emergency, you would now have to resume to some of those challenges that the police would normally face in the judicial system to get warrants to execute on homes for drugs and guns, etc. So that will be the challenge. But despite the challenges, we are giving the police the necessary resources to ensure that their presence is felt throughout the communities, throughout some of our city centers, malls, etc. So we can give the public that sense of safety, and that we can see a continuous reduction in murders and kidnappings and all other serious crimes. Even before 2020, the whole of government approach towards crime reduction has been in place. In 2020, the government established the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. And since the formation of that ministry, we had a number of programs and training programs and initiatives geared towards equipping our young people to give them a sense of hope with new skills so that they can become employable, that they can establish their own businesses, to establish opportunities in the agricultural sector to increase food production. That is just one ministry. The Ministry of Education also has a number of training programs that are geared towards our young people. The Ministry of Sports and Community Development, I'm aware, because I participated in some of those programs, even though I was a Minister of Public Utilities. Again, targeting some of our young people in some of the depressed communities around Port of Spain. I would have seen hundreds of young people participating in these programs. So it is just not a national security. And even under the Ministry of National Security, we have Civilian Conservation Corps and some other critical agencies that whose programs are tailored to fit our young people. We are blessed as a nation where the government has expended hundreds of millions of dollars to offer you training and other programs to provide you with an option away from a life of crime and criminality. We know the challenges that you face in accessing these programs, sometimes through peer pressure. In other instances, you may wish to go to the training programs, but because of the challenges of crime and gang activities, you cannot do so. But I'm sure you have opportunities and avenues through which you can communicate those challenges. And we are willing to hear from you. We are willing to meet you at your homes and in your communities to provide the resources that the government has put in place for your reformation.